Okay, students, welcome and namaste to our second lesson of our grade 7 English book. We have already started our first lesson in the previous video, so I hope you have learned from that previous lesson, and now we are going to continue the next lesson that is about speaking and listening. Okay, students? Okay, let me just show you the overview of today's lesson. First, we are going to do the revision and then pronunciation and speaking, and we are going to do listening and listening exercises, and finally we will talk about role plays in today's lesson, students. First, let me start with the revision of previous lesson for today. Okay, students, let's have a look at what we have learned in our previous lesson. In the previous lesson, we have talked about from the getting started. Do you remember the three pictures of the three women? Yes, they were from different communities of our Nepal. And we also talked about, or we also sang a song from Listen and Sing. And we also did a reading exercise from that unit, from that lesson. And in this getting started, we talked about introducing others in formal situation. And in listening and singing, we have a song about Sam, and that is, I have got a friend whose name is Sam. And from reading, we have learned how to introduce in a formal job interview. Okay, students, these are the things that we did in the previous lesson, and few things that we got from the reading of the interview were vocabularies. From vocabularies, we have learned traffic as the new word, and finance, department, position, experience, part-time work, and clerk. And language structures we learned in that job interview were good morning, and John, I'm Mike. Let me introduce myself. I'm studying. Nice meeting you. Okay, students, so mainly in these lessons, we are talking about introducing others in a formal situations. Okay, students, so there are different ways of introducing, right? So when we introduce with someone, there are two ways to introduce. Okay, one way is to say or introduce yourself like I'm Mike. Good morning, I'm Mike. Or you can say, let me introduce myself, for introducing yourself, and for introducing others. For introducing someone else, your friend, to the other, you have to say, let me introduce someone to someone. Okay, students? So that is the difference. We have different ways of introducing, okay, yourself and the others. Okay, students, so those are the things that we have learned. And now we are also, today also, we are going to do similar things in speaking and listening exercises. Now let's start today's lesson with pronunciation from our Unit 1, and that is the exercise right after the reading exercise. And we have pronunciation exercise, and we have to find out the sounds. What sounds do these words start with? I'm going to give you the list of words here. Okay? So we have these lists of words. So put them in the correct column here. Okay, these are the sound symbols. You might not be familiar with them, but I'll tell you. This is p sound, and f sound, and th sound, and this is the sound, and this is k sound, and this is ch sound. Okay, students? Okay, are you clear? Once again, in English, these are the sound symbols. You might not be familiar with them. I'll just show you again. This is p sound, and this is f sound, this is th sound, this is the sound, k sound, and ch sound. Now you have to categorize, you have to classify these words given here. Okay, so we have then, think, first, phone, closely, payroll, theory, shake, chat, there, quick. And now I'm also going to play an audio to you to listen to them.
Than, thank, first, phone, closely, payroll, theory, check, there, quick, ply. Than, thank, first, phone, closely, payroll, theory, check, there, quick, ply.
Did you get this, sounds, students? Their pronunciation? Can you do them correctly, like the sound that you have heard? Once again, I'm going to play for the last time. Please try it with her, okay?
Than, thank, first, phone, closely, payroll, theory, check, there, quick, ply.
Okay, students. Now, I hope you have got them. Now, let's try to categorize them. Let's try to put them in the correct column, okay? So, which sound is, similar, or which sound matches with the per sound. Let's see here. So, that's the fly and payroll. And another first sound, phone, and first. Another third sound goes there, think. Another one is theory. Another one is the sound. For the sound, we have then and there. And for k sound, we have closely, quick. And finally, we have ch sound, and that is the word with check and chat. Okay, students? So, can you all pronounce them correctly now? Okay, right. So, fly, payroll, first, phone, thank, theory, then, there, closely, quick, check, chat. Okay, students. Now, you can, I hope, do it very well. And can you collect as many words as possible that these sounds come to the words that you have collected? Like, for example, per sound, words with per sound. Can you do that? Let me show you some examples. For example, this is the sound per. Okay, students? This is per. And do you know more examples with per sound? You can write many words, as many words as possible. You can remember any words with per. For example, put, plan, okay, plane, okay, please, and so on. Okay, students? And we have fur sound. We have fur sound. And these words, these sounds can come in the word like fat, okay, fall, photo, look at here, page, free, and so on. So we have fur sound here. Another sound we have here is the th. Okay, so the word, the sound th. Okay, the th sound can come in the words like theory, thermos, think, theater, and so on. Okay, students, look at here. That's TS, letters make the sound th. Okay, students. Now let's look at the sound the. Okay, students, the sound might or can come in the words like there, thus, these, them, that. Okay, students. Likewise, we have the second last sound like ka. This ka sound can come in the words like cat, call, quick, clean, kite, and so on. And the last one is the ch sound. Ch sound comes in the words like chat, church, cats, mats, cheer, and so on. Okay, students, let's look at the letter combination for different sounds. Okay, students, so we have here F for F sound and P for P sound, and we have thus, TS for th sound, and we have TS again for the sound, and for K we have C letter, we have C letter for K sound, and sometimes Q as well, and sometimes K itself is the sound, and another one is the ch sound, that is, is the combination of ch and sometimes also tch. Okay, this is how the words are pronounced with the letter combination. Okay, students, so these are the ideas to improve your pronunciation. Please practice them. Now let's have a look at our next exercise, that is the important exercise for today's lesson, that is the speaking. We are going to talk about similar ideas about introducing. Here we are going to act out the conversation where Jim is introducing Carlos to Peter. Okay, students, have you opened or have you seen this in your book now? Please, if you haven't, please open your book and please quickly find out this exercise under speaking. Okay, students, we have exercise A under speaking, and it is acting out the conversation. So between Jim and Carlos and Peter. Okay, students, now we have this conversation. They are going to introduce each other. Let's see how they introduce each other. I'm going to play the audio for them, and nextly we will try to read them aloud.
Carlos, let me introduce you to Peter Breen. Peter, this is Mr. Carlos Smith. He is from Argentina.
Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you too. Peter works for our New York branch. He's responsible for international accounts.
Okay, students. Now you have seen or you have heard the conversation between Jim, Peter, and Carlos about their introduction. So can you do in the similar way they have introduced, and can you do this introduction like them? Okay, let's try. Okay, students. Jim says, Carlos, let me introduce you to Peter Breen. Peter, this is Mr. Carlos Smith. He is from Argentina. Carlos says, pleased to meet you. Peter, good to meet you too. Jim, Peter works for our New York branch. He is responsible for international accounts. Okay, students. Now we have read the conversation. If you want to act them out, you can practice with your friends as well. I'll once again let you hear it.
Carlos, let me introduce you to Peter Breen. Peter, this is Mr. Carlos Smith. He is from Argentina.
Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you too. Peter works for our New York branch. He's responsible for international accounts.
Okay, students, now we have read the conversation, we have heard the conversation. Now you can practice with your friends or your brothers and sisters to practice the ways to introduce others or yourself. So when you want to introduce others, let's see here. Carlos is introduced here with Peter by Jim. How? Let's see. Carlos, let me introduce you to Peter Brian. Look at this. Carlos is mentioned, and let me introduce you to Peter Brian. This is how we introduce others, okay, in some situations. And you can also give some information like he's from Argentina. And you also introduce Mr. Carlos with Peter, like Peter. This is Mr. Carlos Smith. Peter is introduced here, Mr. Carlos. And first, Carlos is introduced Mr. Peter. And secondly, Peter is introduced with Carlos. Okay, students. Now, has Carlos met Peter before? From the conversation, what do you see? No, right? Because they are now introducing. Introducing means they are meeting for the first time. So how do you know? Because Carlos and Peter are being introduced by Jim. Look at here. Okay, Jim knows Peter and Carlos, but Carlos and Peter are not the friends. They are not known to each other before. So we know that Carlos and Peter are not the friends, or they have not known each other before, because Jim is introducing them. Right, students? That's great. You are right. Now let's look at the second one. Now practice this dialogue in groups of 3. Use your real names. Now there are the blank spaces here given. You have to use your names there, and you have to practice the conversation or dialogue in a real situation in your classroom or your house with your friends or groups of 3. So you have to have 3 friends here. Okay, students? So you can introduce one or 2 friends. You are going to introduce them. You are not introducing yourself. You can introduce the 2 friends. So you need 3 friends there. So let's see here how you can do that. A, good afternoon. B says, good afternoon. My name is maybe Sam. Hello, my name is Ram. Have we met before? No, we haven't. Pleased to meet you. Okay, so you can say pleased to meet you once you know each other, and pleased to meet you too. Have you met someone else? You have to have the third person's, your next third friend's name. I'm not sure. Yes, we have met before. Now they know each other, and now C is here, another friend. Yes, we have met before. Good to see you again. Oh yes, I remember now. Good to see you again too. Okay, students. Now once again, let me read it to you quickly. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Sam. Hello, my name is Ram. Have we met before? No, we haven't. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you too. Have we met Sita? I'm not sure. Yes, we have met before. Good to see you again. Oh yes, I remember now. Good to see you again too. Okay, students, now let's see the exercise 3 or C. Learn the useful expressions to introduce formally. Now we have seen 2 dialogues. We have practiced 2 conversations with our friends, and now we are going to see the expressions. Which expressions we can use in the conversations like we have just practiced, or the conversation for introducing others. Like you have the sentences or expressions. Hello, my name is Rina. She is from Kathmandu. Rina, this is Nitesh Karki. She is an English teacher. She is good at teaching pronunciation. Can you now read them aloud? Yes, that's good. And second one, please. Okay, very good. And the third one? Good job. The fourth one? Okay, good. The last one, please. Very good. Okay, so once again, let me read it aloud to you. Hello, my name is Rina. She is from Kathmandu. Rina, this is Nitesh Karki. She is an English teacher. She is good at teaching pronunciation. Okay, students, now you can use these kind of, expressions in our daily, conversation for introducing others. And we can use other, expressions that we have practiced in the conversation or the interview that we have read in our previous lesson. Do you remember that? Okay, so what were such expressions? Okay, the such expressions were like, let me introduce, okay? Let me introduce myself. Myself. This was one expression, okay? And another one is, I am Mike. Okay? This is how we can introduce. And these two are for introducing yourself. And for introducing the others, we can say, let me introduce, okay, Sam to you. Let me introduce Sam to you. Or you can simply say, Ram, let me introduce Sam. Okay, so you are introducing Ram here to Sam, and here you are introducing Sam to you. Okay, these are the ways for introducing our friends or yourself. Okay, students, we have learned the various expressions for introducing ourselves in the formal situations, students. Well, students, till now we have learned different ways of introducing from the speaking, and we have also learned pronunciation, how we can pronounce different sounds with different letter combinations. Okay, students, and also we did a revision from the previous lesson, students. Do you remember those things? Okay, so can you make the words, with the th sound? Can you remember the words with p sound? Can you remember the words with k sound? And can you introduce yourself with your friends? That's great. Okay, students. Now let's go to the next exercise. Okay, dear students, now we are going to do another exercise. It is about a listening exercise from your book. Please have a look at this exercise from your book. We have this picture. You can see this picture on your book page, and we have questions before listening to the audio. Let's read the questions first. Look at the picture and answer these questions. Do the two men know each other? Do the two men know each other? What do you think? Look at them. Do you think they know each other? You can say yes or no. What are they doing? What are they doing? Can you guess? Yes, they are most probably introducing each other. They are trying to know each other. Okay, students? And what is the woman doing? The woman is she just standing? No. Maybe she is introducing the two men there, right? Yes, most probably she is introducing the two men here. Okay, students, now let me play the audio for the first time. I'll play the audio file for 3 times. First time you just listen and find out what is happening in the conversation.
Mr. Peterson, let me introduce you to our new staff. His name is Thomas.
Nice to meet you, Thomas.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Peterson.
I hope you'll be enjoy here.
I hope so. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, students, you have, recently, just now, you have, heard or listened to the audio recording, and you have got some idea about what are these people talking about and who are these people. Can you now tell me, who are they and what are they doing and what is the woman doing? Okay, you have got some idea, yes. Can you name them? Maybe something like Peter or something Thomas. Is it right? Okay, you heard those things. I'll play it again and you will understand them better. But one thing you heard or you understood is that there is a woman who is introducing the two men, right? Yes, that's correct. You have got the idea. Once again, now let's see the question exercises from our book and from exercise B. Listen to the audio recording and complete the sentences with the given words. The given words are, boss, new staff, and Mr. Peterson. Now you have to, find out the, answer to the question. Before listening to the audio, please read the question like, Mr. Thomas is a, the lady introduces Thomas to, Mr. Peterson seems to be the, okay, what can be the answer? Can you now listen to the audio for the second time and complete the task? Okay, please be ready to listen carefully. Okay, listen to it carefully.
Mr. Peterson, let me introduce you to our new staff. His name is Thomas.
Nice to meet you, Thomas.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Peterson.
I hope you'll be enjoy here.
I hope so. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, students, now I hope you have completed the task. Okay, students, so Mr. Thomas is a, who is he? Let's make a guess. I hope you have, correct answers, and let's make a guess. Mr. Thomas is he a boss or a new staff? Okay, maybe new staff. Okay, let's just imagine this is the right answer. The lady introduces Thomas to, is it boss or Peterson? Who is she introducing to? Let's guess, it's Mr. Peterson. And Mr. Peterson seems to be the boss. Yes, maybe boss. Okay, now we are going to listen to the recording for the last time, and you are now going to complete the task. Okay, students? And then we will see the answer and you can check your answer.
Mr. Peterson, let me introduce you to our new staff. His name is Thomas.
Nice to meet you, Thomas.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Peterson.
I hope you'll be enjoy here.
I hope so. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, students, we have completed listening, our activities, and we have now this completion activity. Now let's check our answers. You have got your answers on your copy. Please check. So let's see here. Mr. Thomas is the boss, and Mr. Peterson seems to be the boss, and Mr. Thomas is a new staff. Okay, so the lady introduces Thomas to Mr. Peterson. Is it the correct answer in your copy as well? Yes, that's very good then. You have done it very well. You have understood the recording very well. Okay, students, now we are going to move to the next exercise. That is exercise C. We have to make a group of 3 to role play as different people in different situations to introduce one another. Okay, students, let me give you some examples for you to introduce yourselves. For example, introduce your friend on the first day at a college. This is one, a role for you to play the role. Another situation I'm going to give you is get your brother admitted in a school. And another one is interview a leader. Okay, so this is exercise C. You are asked to play the role and you have given the role here and you have to introduce one with the another. Okay, students, can you do that? Okay, let me help you with some ideas. Okay, introduce with a introduce your friend on the first day at a college. So how do you play the role? Okay, maybe it's you and you are going to ask, or you are going to greet first. Hi Ram. Hi Ram, meet my friend Raju. Now Raju is going to get introduced with Ram and Raju will say hi or hello. You can also say hello Ram. Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you, sorry. And Ram is going to say, hello, Raju. Nice to meet you too. Okay, students, this is one example for you. You can have a conversation in the similar way, and in this conversation you are at a college and you know some friend and you are going to introduce Ram with Raju, and your conversation can be like hi Ram, meet my friend Raju. Okay, hi Ram, meet my friend Raju. And Raju will say, hello Ram, nice to meet you. And Ram will say, hello Raju, nice to meet you too. Okay, students, so likewise you can introduce with your friends or your friends to others. Okay, students, these are the way, and you have different other expressions. For example, instead of hi, you can say namaste or hello. You can say, instead of nice, you can say good, good to meet you or good to see you. Likewise, you can give a variety in your conversation, and please have a conversation, have a role play with your friends in the other situations as well. For example, getting your brother admitted in a school, you can say that this is my brother, he's 8 years old. Likewise, you can interview a leader, okay, like a program, TV program, when you can see TV programs where a leader is introduced, okay. So likewise, you can introduce someone and play the role, okay, students. So this much about today's lesson. So we have completed, till now we have completed all the exercises about speaking and listening, and we did in today's lesson, revision of the previous lesson, and we also learned pronunciation for some sounds, and speaking. In speaking, we practiced introducing others, and in listening as well, we also heard or listened to the similar conversations for introducing, and finally we did a listening exercises, and at the end we did a short role play, right, students? And we can also do other similar role plays in the other situation that I have provided. You can please create your own dialogues. So this much for today's lesson. Thank you all for joining the lesson. See you in our next video. Namaste.